Let's take a journey into the fascinating world of the 1972 United States 1-cent coin, a tiny copper-colored piece of our everyday lives that just might hold secrets and value beyond anything you'd expect from something found at the bottom of your pocket or in a random jar filled with spare change. The story of the 1972 penny is, at first glance, simple. Another year, another billion-plus pennies churned out by the U.S. Mint. But for those with a keen eye, an understanding of numismatic history, and a bit of luck, this particular penny harbors a legend that has captured the hearts of collectors and treasure hunters alike. To really understand how a coin so common can gain such an aura of mystery and potential value, it pays to consider a bit of background. The Lincoln cent, the penny as it's better known, has been a staple of American currency since 1909. Designed to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait, breaking with the older tradition of using allegorical figures. Over the decades, the design has changed subtly. By 1972, pennies showed Lincoln's portrait on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, a design choice that began in 1959 and stood all the way through 2008. But the important changes weren't just in the look of the penny. They were also in what it was made of. If you were to pick up a penny minted before 1982, you'd be holding a coin that was nearly pure copper. But starting that year, the price of copper rose so quickly that the U.S. Mint had to switch to a cheaper blend. A penny became a core of zinc with a thin coating of copper. By 1972, every penny was made this way, 97.5% zinc, 2.5% copper. But what really sets the 1972 penny apart isn't its composition or its ubiquitous appearance. Instead, it's a rare twist at the San Francisco Mint that created one of the most sought-after modern U.S. coins, the legendary 1972 No S proof penny. To understand the significance, you'll want to know a little about how U.S. coins are made and marked. Ordinary pennies for everyday use are minted in massive numbers at facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and, less often by then, San Francisco. Coins minted in Denver typically bear a little D mark. Those made in San Francisco get an S. And those from Philadelphia often have no mint mark at all. But what really mattered to collectors in 1972 was the difference between regular circulation coins and proof coins. A proof coin isn't meant for everyday transactions. Instead, it's struck with special dies and polished planchets to give it a mirror-like finish and exceptional detail. A showpiece for collectors, often included in annual mint or proof sets. In 1972, as in other years, the San Francisco Mint produced the proof pennies, all of which should have borne that proud S below the date. But errors creep in even to the most carefully controlled processes. And in 1972, by mistake, a small number of proof pennies were produced without the S mint mark, an absence that instantly set them apart from every other proof penny of that year, and made them some of the rarest modern coins ever to enter the collector's market. Imagine the excitement. Just a handful of dazzling, mirror-bright pennies, intended for sets sold directly to collectors, accidentally struck without their S. They looked just like the proof coins. Impeccably sharp details, lustrous finish. But instead of the all-important S, there was only blank space. Why does that matter so much? Because proof pennies are meant to be perfect, and their rarity is enhanced when a mistake like this slips through quality control. These no S proof pennies shouldn't exist, which makes them like a secret hidden in plain sight, available only to those careful or lucky enough to spot them. Discovering one of these rare 1972 no S pennies is not just a moment of surprise, it's a potential windfall. Depending on condition, these error coins have sold for tens of thousands of dollars at auction, with the finest known examples fetching over $30,000, and some have been rumored to be worth even more in pristine, untouched grades. Their value comes down to a simple but potent combination: rarity, demand, and the ineffable allure of a mistake that slipped past even the watchful eyes of the U.S. Mint. Of course, with billions of ordinary 1972 pennies in circulation, the odds can seem long. Most 1972 pennies are just that, pennies. But if you have a proof set from that year, or perhaps inherited one from a parent or grandparent, it's worth taking a closer look. The telltale signs of a 1972 no S proof penny aren't hard to recognize once you know what to check. First, examine the penny for quality. Is it sharply struck with deep reflective fields and frosted details? That's a sign it's a proof. Next, look just below the date on the front of the coin. Every 1972 proof penny should have that S mint mark from San Francisco. If it's missing, and the coin matches all the other characteristics of a proof, clear, crisp features, mirror-like finish, you might just be looking at one of these legendary rarities. Collecting U.S. coins is, in so many ways, a treasure hunt, with stories wrapped up in copper, nickel, and zinc. The 1972 no S penny represents the ultimate dream, the possibility that ordinary objects can conceal extraordinary stories and values. And the excitement of the hunt doesn't only apply to proofs. Even ordinary 1972 pennies can become a prize if they're found in perfect, mint-fresh condition. Top-grade pieces, those graded MS-67 or above by organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, can command hundreds of dollars or more, prized for their rarity and perfection in a sea of worn and well-circulated coins. But perhaps the greatest lesson of the 1972 penny isn't just about price tags and auction houses. It's about the value of attention, curiosity, and the willingness to peer a little closer at the overlooked details of everyday life. Coin collecting encourages us to see not just what is, but what could be, to appreciate history, craftsmanship, and the quirks of production that turn a humble coin into a legendary artifact. If you're interested in joining the hunt, start by searching through any old proof sets in your home or family collection. Invest in a good magnifying glass, and if you're lucky enough to spot something unusual, don't hesitate to consult with a professional coin grader. Authentication is essential, especially for rare error coins whose value depends on subtle details and expert verification. The story of the 1972 penny serves as a potent reminder that the world is full of surprises. From humble roots in the U.S. Mint, through decades of use, circulation, or careful preservation, every coin has a journey. Some are spent and forgotten within days. Others are saved, studied, and cherished for generations. A select few, touched by the hand of chance, a printing error, a missing mark, become not just currency but legends in their own right. As you sift through your own change or inherited collections, remember, every penny has a story. The 1972 1-cent coin could just be another face in the crowd. Or, for the lucky and the vigilant, it could be a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. It reminds us to look a little closer at the ordinary moments and objects in our lives, because sometimes what seems insignificant holds incredible value, historically, financially, and personally. So the next time your hands close around a handful of forgotten coins, take a moment to look more closely. Maybe you'll spot a mirror-bright penny from 1972 and find yourself face-to-face with one of numismatic's greatest modern mysteries. A simple penny with a missing letter, destined for greatness. In a world overflowing with stuff, stories like this remind us that there's always a treasure waiting to be found, if only you're willing to look. Happy hunting, and may your next penny bring you not just luck, but an adventure worth its weight in gold. If you enjoyed learning about this valuable coin and want to see more content like this, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel Coin Value Guide, and ring the bell for notifications on our latest videos. Have any questions or thoughts about rare coins? Drop them in the comments below. We love hearing from you.